Okay.
For my sign, I guess. No.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Litchfield Planning Board meeting of November 17th, 2020. Would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. Appointment of alternates this evening. I believe we have all full members on board, so we won't have to appoint alternates, and we do have a quorum. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Roll call of members present. Michael Croto, Chair.
Kimberly Queen, Vice Chair.
Ron Stevens, member.
Kevin Lynch, Selectman's Rep.
Kate Stevens, member.
James Buffetti, member.
Okay, and we have Jay with us on the Zoom. Hello, Jay. Okay. First off, public input on non-agenda items. Items not on the agenda for this evening. Is there any members of the public who have anything they want to add on non-agenda items? We'll open the floor. And okay, hearing none, I will close public input on non-agenda items and move on to the first order of business this evening, which is a sign update for 7-Eleven, tax map 2, lot 39, 274 Dairy Road, Route 102. Update canopy lights to LED, update gas sign to changeable electronic signs. Is the applicant with us this evening?
I am. I'm here.
Okay,
Good
can you
evening.
introduce yourself to the board?
I heard you adjourned the meeting already, though.
Okay.
My name is Heather Dudko, and I'm working with National Sign to update the signage at this location.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening. The proposal is there's an existing freestanding sign, and they would like to leave the structure in place. They will paint the poles, remove the faces from the cabinets, and replace the faces. The existing lighting is fluorescent, so they would like to update the lighting to LED, the internal illumination. So the sizes will be exactly the same as the existing sizes. It'll just be a new face for the 7-Eleven panel, and they would like to upgrade the manual price board to a digital pricing board. And on the gas canopy, they would like to remove the panels and just retrofit the lighting with new LED lighting, and they'll replace the panels in place. And if there's any painting that needs to be done, they're going to refresh the paint. And I was also forewarned a little bit that there might be some illegal signage there on site, some ads and papers and things like that. So any of that will be removed if the board needs us to remove that.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Does anybody have any questions for the applicant? Let's see. So everybody should have in their portal on the board the pictures and what the 7-Eleven gas station lighting supposed to look like. Are there any other documents, Joan, that have to be provided or?
No,
Okay.
the overall canopy pictures and then the manual price signs to the LED price signs.
Okay. Jay, did you want to add anything? I don't know if you had an opportunity to take a look.
So, Mr. Chair, all they're doing is just
Yeah, go ahead.
using the same footprint,
Mhm.
and just filling it in and making it look better.
Okay.
Okay?
I succeeded in unmuting myself. Can everybody see the screen?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
The images.
Yes.
So my one concern, and I do apologize for not noticing this earlier until I really zoomed in, but a question for the applicant. Am I right in understanding that they would be using red and green colored lights, or am I not understanding that correctly?
No, that you are understanding that correctly. The green is for diesel.
Okay, I think in other aspects, the signs do meet our requirements, but we, in the revised sign ordinance that we adopted last year, we do limit lights to either white or amber.
Okay, that's not a problem.
Beyond that, I think it's fine. It's an in-kind replacement. They meet the dimensional requirements. It's 2 lines of text, so that seems to work.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Jay. Okay. Anybody have anything else they want to add?
A simple one.
Okay.
This is simple.
All right.
I like the color idea.
Yeah.
Christmassy.
Okay. Festive. All right. Oh, do we need to open it up to public input? I can certainly open it up to public input at this time. If any members of the public have questions about this proposal. All right, hearing none, I will close public input at this time on this. Okay. So what is the will of the board? Do we need a vote to approve this or? Okay, well, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve it.
My second.
All right, I have a motion. I have a second. Do I have discussion?
So I'm assuming that the motion would include that the lighting color would comply with the ordinance?
I'll add that to it, Jay.
Thank you.
So, okay.
We'll add it.
So the white or amber. Okay.
The Christmas spirit bothers me now.
So we'll certainly make that a condition that it will, as it applies to the sign ordinance for the white or amber color.
We're going into lockdown, guys. We need a laugh.
All right. Any further discussion? And probably, I mean, if there are issues with the illegal signage or anything, I assume that will be cleared up.
It's a civil matter.
So,
Okay.
okay. So, all right.
That happens every day.
Anything else? All right. We have a motion. We have a second to approve with a condition. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Abstained? All right. Motion passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 0.
About 6. How about 6?
Yeah, I got to include Kevin, don't I? 6, 0, 0. Sorry, Kevin.
I had this.
It wasn't intentional.
Oh, yeah.
6, 0, 0. Okay.
I made the motion.
So, if there's nothing else, I think you're all set.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Pick the colors for the signs.
I don't know.
Black and white.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is, if I can bring it up. Is subdivision application Norman and Joan Carteret,
Cataract.
excuse me, 4 Pheasant Street, map 5, lot 166. Subdivide one lot into 2 lots If the aforementioned application is accepted, notice is hereby extended to application approval consideration and/or continuations to a date certain as required. Is the applicant present this evening?
Yes, I'm the representative for the applicant.
Can you introduce
and
yourself?
The owner of record is our president.
Okay.
Norman's in the bottom.
Okay, good evening. So can you both introduce yourself, give your name and address? And
Go ahead, Norm.
Norm Cataract, 4 Pheasant Street, Litchfield.
Okay, good evening.
Greg Jeffrey from Jeffrey Land Survey, doing business at 1 Burgess Drive, Litchfield.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, gentlemen. So this is a subdivision application. So first off, Joan, I'll ask you, have these gentlemen submitted the appropriate paperwork, a plan, or
Yes, they have, and abutters have been notified.
abutters have been notified and all fees have been paid?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I know Jay had mentioned something about there was something missing from the application, something about the address in the title block, the address of the owner.
Those are some minor issues that we picked up that shouldn't affect acceptance of the plan.
Okay,
There's a typo on the plan. There's a couple of items, including a signature, that they need to be added,
okay.
but those are fairly minor.
So that'll be done and okay, all right.
Right. So if I could just jump in.
Yeah.
Jay beat me to sharing what I did is when Jay sent me the letter about the typo and the address, I've already changed those and I was going to share it, but Jay beat me to it. But let me just recap. There was a typo in this error. And I added, even though down here we have the owner of record, I added the owner of record's address right here. And they will be signed. I mean, usually plans, when you sign a plan, it's usually when you want to record them, and that's on a Mylar. So it would certainly have to be, signature would have to be on the plan to have it be recorded. So those have already been addressed.
Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. So we have a plan, we have the required documents, fees have been paid, and abutters have been notified. And I assume there will be no regional impact to this project? I doubt it. I'm not hearing anything, so.
Good question.
Yeah, but well, I gotta ask. Okay.
As for the street numbers, they don't get assigned until the time the building permit is issued, because it's every 100 feet, so that's where it would fall. At that time, they'll issue.
Well, the street numbers should get on the plan from the fire department, so when it's recorded, the street number's on there.
We don't do that unless we know where the house is and so many feet away from it.
Well,
To change that
Well-
procedure?
the house isn't going to face Albuquerque. Driveway can't be on Albuquerque.
Okay.
Right. So if I could just jump in here,
Mhm.
because Norm's house is currently number 4, I
Two.
took the liberty of putting number 2 in parentheses in front of it. And as far as house numbers, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't want to change Norm's house.
Okay.
No.
Got it. Okay. All right. So what we normally do, procedure, the reason I asked those questions to Joan is we normally would accept the application as it has been presented. It's not an approval of the application. The applicant would still have to present to us this evening. But this is basically a paper exercise to make sure that all fees have been paid, abutters have been notified, and we have all the necessary documentation.
I'll make a motion to accept it then.
So I have a motion to accept the application. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by James. Do we have discussion? All right, all those in favor of accepting the application, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
those opposed, abstained, motion passes 600. I included you this time, so
Keeping an eye on you.
I know. Okay, so the application has been accepted. So I will allow the applicant at this time to give a brief presentation about what they're planning to do as in terms of the subdivision. So you have the floor.
Okay, so in front of us, we have a PDF of the proposed subdivision. The existing map 5 lot 166, as it sits right now, is 2.5, just over 2.5 acres. What the applicant would like to do is subdivide just over one acre of that for a single family home on the northwesterly corner or the northwesterly side of the property. It's a conforming lot. It meets area and frontage. There are no wetlands on the property. It'll be served by Pennachuck water and private septic. So with that, being such a simple plan, with that, I'd be willing to entertain any questions.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for the applicant? Yeah.
Hi, this is Kimberly Queenan. I just need some clarification on note 10, what that means on the drawing. And then I'll
That's
also.
right. So Norm's property with the 2.5 acres, there was a drainage flowage rights deed that was issued from him to the town of Litchfield so that water from the properties and from the streets can flow across his property down into, he has sort of like in the middle of his driveway, he has a drainage culvert, and that makes its way across the street to Perch Pond. And so that the drainage flow rights were addressed in that deed at the Hillsborough County Registry of Deeds.
So by splitting the lot, do we have to do anything about that?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
And note 15, also, I just need a clarification on that. Well, about who's going to this event at number 15? Note 15.
That's a pretty standard comment that I put in on Litchfield subdivisions. Just before there's any groundbreaking, just a pre-construction site, have the owner, the site guys, whoever's doing the earthwork, and a representative from the town.
Okay, I was just wondering about water, if we start pulling tree trunks out. Okay, so
Not an
it's
issue there.
standard. Okay,
Standard.
Yep.
okay, thank you.
Does anybody have anything else they want to ask? So I see we do have some waivers that are being requested for this application. Maybe you could go over those with us and
Okay.
discuss those.
Okay, so I'd like to start with section 530.00, subsection G, which is the requirement for soil types and location of soil boundaries as per SES soil survey maps. The requirement of the client to prepare a soil survey and soil boundary map present an unnecessary financial hardship to the applicant. And the granting of a waiver.
Hello,
Somebody touched it.
are you there? Might have lost him.
Yeah, his mic's off.
Is that something you couldn't help with, John? I don't
Can you
know.
look up?
Mr. Jeffrey, you're muted.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
All right, can anyone hear me?
Can hear you.
Now we can. Thank you.
The ordinance, sorry about this, I'm not very used to doing this. So the ordinance is in place to delineate the limits of soil types, therefore the soil characteristics of a lot to be subdivided and developed. The subject of soil loading and soil impact is also being examined by the DES during the state subdivision and subsurface disposal systems application process. Therefore, granting of the waiver is in keeping with the spirit and the intent of the ordinance. So basically, the soil loading is redundant in the sense that to get subsurface or to get state subdivision and septic approval from DES, they put an eye on soil types, and the soils have been tested by by AB Septic, and the application has already been submitted to DES for state subdivision approval. It hasn't come back yet, but it's in the works.
Okay.
Greg, excuse me. Town Hall, you guys are muted. Can you have the LCTV guy come over and unmute the WebEx?
Am I muted?
No, you're not, Greg. Just the Town Hall
okay.
side.
Is it because of me?
Is that better?
Just so you guys want to know, no.
Okay, do we have comment on that, or would you like me to move to the next waiver?
I think
just have to add,
Kevin
One
wanted to say
second, Greg,
something.
because the Town Hall, which is where the participants are not, or they're all muted and not able to respond.
Can you hear me now? John?
It's not.
Just to let you guys know, this is a mute issue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very mute.
There they go. Okay, they're back.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry for
I would like to,
difficulty.
yep, that's no problem. I'd like to address waiver, section 150.7 subsection Q, the stormwater drainage plan. The production of a drainage study for the subject property would present an unnecessary financial hardship to the applicant. The ordinance is in place to mitigate adverse downstream effects for larger projects with significant increased impervious coverage. The subject project simply proposes to subdivide one existing lot into two lots. The additional impervious area is negligible and is unlikely to contribute to downstream flooding. Therefore, granting of the waiver is in keeping with the spirit and intent of the ordinance.
And just so everybody is aware, this can be found in the site plan regulations. It's under 150.7Q, and it lists stormwater drainage plans and what they have to show, the criteria there, 1 through 4.
It says subdivision or site?
Yep.
Site plan.
Do they want to add the word "not" to that last sentence? The additional impervious area is negligible and will not contribute to downstream flooding. You want to put the word "not" in there? Or is it too late? I don't know if this has been signed off. Do you mind putting the word "not"
Yeah, I
in there?
mean, you can certainly
Okay.
make the recommendation.
Make a recommendation,
Yep.
do it. Just do it.
We don't want flooding.
It won't.
I know.
Okay. Okay, any questions on this one? Okay. And the next one is traffic impact study. Is that 120.1A?
Yeah, section 120.1 subsection A, traffic impact study. The production of a traffic impact study for the subject project would present an unnecessary financial hardship to the applicant. The ordinance is in place for larger projects that present significant increases to traffic volumes on adjacent roadways. The proposed single-family two-lot subdivision is not expected to significantly increase traffic volumes in the area. Therefore, granting of the waiver is in keeping with the spirit and intent of the ordinance.
Anybody have any questions? And again, this is in the site plan regs. It's under 120.1, a traffic impact study, and provides information there. Okay. Jay, do you have anything that you want to add, having reviewed this project?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. This is really just a one lot into two, creating one additional house lot. So the impact is obviously very minor. Both lots are conforming. It meets all the requirements. I guess the only other thing I would add as part of any motion, if the board were to make a motion to approve, we also do need a letter from the water utility from Pennachuck confirming that they'll provide service.
Right, I've been in contact with Pennachuck on this, also for other reasons, but they assure me that the letter is coming and that the delay is caused by COVID. That's what everyone says, but that is on the way.
It's always a handy excuse.
Good one.
Okay. At this time, I will open it up to public input. Is there any members of the public out there who wish to speak on this proposal? And I'm not hearing anything, so I'm going to close public input on this plan. I'm going to bring it back to the board. What is the will of the board, or do the board have any further questions for the applicant?
I have none.
You have none.
This is the simplest one I've ever seen.
Okay, all right.
Just too much sand.
So what we'll do first, we'll vote on the waivers, I think, probably first, and then we'll vote on the entire approval of the application.
Do you want to vote on the waivers individually or group them?
We can do them either way, whatever the board wants to do.
We have to fix that one though, right?
Yeah, just we'll make a note that will have to be changed, and then we can make that as a condition of the approval.
Okay.
Let's go for it, Kim. I'll listen to you.
Okay. I get to go for it.
So if you want to approve all three of them at once, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, I will make a motion to approve the three waivers, 150.7Q stormwater drainage plan, 530.00G soil types and location of soil boundaries as per SCS soil survey maps, and 120.1A traffic impact study.
Okay.
Second motion.
I have a motion to approve, and I have the waivers, and I have a second. Do I have any discussion? All right. Hearing none. All those in favor of the approval of the waivers, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, abstained, motion passes 6-0-0. Okay, so that takes care of the waivers. Now we'll come back to the approval of the subdivision application. Is there anything that anyone wants to, any other final comments before we vote? And does anyone want to entertain a motion to approve the application?
I'll make a motion that we approve it.
Okay. Do we want to have conditions on that? Condition that
Yep, we fixed.
that was recommended by Jay.
Yeah, a letter from Pennachuck.
Water utility, Pennachuck provides services. I would also put in there that to fix the issue of the address of the owners in the title box, the owner's signature on the plan as well. And
150.7.
150.7.
Put the word not in about contributing to downstream flooding in the second sentence.
In the second sentence, okay. So with that said, with those conditions in mind, I'll entertain a motion to approve as conditioned.
I'll make a motion. Okay, I have to repeat that. I make a motion to approve that we fix waiver 150.7 stormwater drainage plan to put the word not in the second sentence so it does not contribute to downstream flooding, and that we have a letter from Pennachuck, and did you say utilities as well?
Provide services from
Provide
Pennachuck
services to
Utility.
that lot.
That's fine. Okay. All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second, this is Jim Buffetti.
Okay, thanks, Jim. I have a second. Do I have discussion?
I have one question.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong in saying this, but if you got an acre of land and you can meet the setbacks on the well, you should be able to put a well in. You're not mandated to go to Pennachuck. Just saying. okay?
Yeah.
That's the law.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree. But I know that in the past, we've had projects come before us and people rely on the well. Then we get something from DES, or they get something from DES, I should say, that says that because of PFOA, there's a contamination issue. I know that that's happened in the past with some projects that have come before us. So, but as you say, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's up to the applicant.
Well, if they want to put the well in for the irrigation of the lawn, they so can.
Yeah.
Because not a domestic well.
This is Jay jumping
Yeah,
in.
Jay.
The reason why we are asking for the letter from Pennachuck is only because the application itself proposed public water. They certainly were free to, put in a well if they wished. Then the requirement would have been to just show the 75-foot well radius. So it was just a choice. They elected to go with public water.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Okay. So motion, and I have a second. We have discussion. All those in favor of the approval as conditioned, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Abstained? Motion passes 6-0-0. All right. You're all set. Thank you very much for coming, or for joining us this evening, and wish you.
Thank you. I just have one question though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I presumptively put on map for the created lot, I have map 5 lot 166-1 with an address of number 2. Before I print the Mylar, could I get a confirmation that those would be acceptable to the town?
I can talk to the fire department about street number 2, and I believe 166-1 would be correct.
Because part of the other lot.
166-1.
That's part of the other lot that was just subdivided. That just added it to it.
Right.
It gives you a history of an event. That's all it does.
I'll check with the fire department on number 2.
Okay. All right. Thank you, John.
Okay. Thank you.
Very much.
Norman, congratulations.
All I have to do is get rid of it.
This market, don't be worried about
I don't think you'd have any problem. I don't think you'd have any problem getting rid of it, Norm.
Yeah,
Hey, Norm, I'll call you in a minute.
okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good evening.
Bye now.
Be well, be safe. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Right.
Oh, we're all done now. We should go home.
Not so fast.
Almost. Almost. Get back to where I was. Okay.
Oh, did you want the copy of the budget? Here's a hard copy of the budget.
Yeah,
I put it on.
I did see that.
The recommendation.
So I guess the budget committee did.
Selectmen took 500 off the plan, and then the budget committee did the rest. The highlighted is the budget committee.
Okay.
We both wanted a piece.
So was it 1,050? Is that?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the budget? I mean, I know. Just curious.
Can't ask me.
I know. That's hard. You know? Okay.
Did they take into consideration that the newspapers, they're basing the public notices on a newspaper that isn't running anymore?
Well, we have to go with the union leader, which
Yeah.
is a lot more expensive.
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
The
it seems
applicant-
like of all the lines, it's not the best one to cut.
The applicant pays $100 for the advertising, but that doesn't go back into our budget. It's not an offset on our budget.
I had a question. I asked the reps about this. The newspapers are fading away. Okay, and the homepage is on your website, and the official website. You're posting your meetings there. You could do the same thing there as an announcement
Well, you have to get a hold of your state representative and tell
I
them
have
to
asked them
change the
that.
RSA. It's a good
Okay.
idea.
Because it's got to be done.
Right.
Okay, the dairy news is gone, just about.
Mm.
Milford Cabinet's gone. The union lead, I saw the union leader at Market Basket this weekend.
Mhm.
It wasn't many. Okay, so the world's changed.
It's very expensive in the union leader
Yeah.
as well.
Well, for none of cases we have,
Right.
if you're off by $100 or $200 a year, that can be covered.
Mhm.
But
Okay,
the RSA says in a paper of general circulation, so that
I
has to
know.
be changed.
yeah. Okay, just brought it up, guys. We may want to promote this a little bit more with your help too.
Was the law that it had to be in 2 places or just one?
Just
You have
one.
to post in 2 places and put it in a paper of general circulation.
Yeah.
But the, like for the voting has changed, that we can post it on the website if we have a website. We don't have to do the paper anymore.
The town,
Do
the
the same
official
here,
town
too.
website. Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the voting checklist and not for the
Yeah.
planning board.
Not a bad idea to get it changed.
Yeah.
I really hate paying those fees.
I mean, Hudson, I mean, we were fortunate when Hudson Litchfield News was
Yeah,
with us because, it was kind of, no brainer, but now that they're no longer with us, it's,
these
Taking
things are
different approach.
killing print.
so I just figured I would have Joan print out or provide the budget information for you folks to take a look at it and see if you had any questions about it. I did want to bring up something I just publicly that the planning board wishes to express its we had Peter Dion, who was our new code enforcement officer for the town, or building inspector, passed away recently, and we wanted to give our condolences to Peter's family and to those who to Peter's passing, which is very unfortunate. He was doing a great job for the town, and unfortunately, it's very tragic. But we send our condolences to Peter's family, and we just basically are very. He will be missed, I think, by the town. So I'll just take a moment, maybe to a moment of silence for Peter. Okay, thank you very much. I did want to mention that, and I know that the town has been trying to find someone to is probably working on trying to find someone new, but it is tragic. Committee reports. Any reports of any committees? Do you have anything,
Sure.
Kim, that you want to?
I do. NRPC, our next quarterly commission meeting is Wednesday, December 16th at 7 p.m. Jay, I'm not sure if it's virtual or not, being December, what's going to happen, but is it still open to the public at 30 Temple Street, Nashua? Or is it going to be virtual?
Yeah, it will be open to the public either way. Jury's out as to whether it'll be virtual or hybrid. Things aren't trending in the best way, so we'll see. But either way, it will be public, and we'll make sure that information gets out to everyone.
And you can find it on your website, right? The meeting, so again, December 16th, 2020 at 7 p.m. I'm going to mention the Litchfield Historical Society, not that it's a town group, but we do use the town building for our meetings. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who shopped at our outdoor sale. It was an impromptu thing on Saturday, November 14th at the Old Town Hall. It was very successful. And we want to thank everybody for supporting the Historical Society. And thank you for buying a blue hat. I do remember you were there. The Litchfield Heritage Commission, we continue with the demolition review ordinances from zoning ordinance 1040, and we do have one building slotted for demolition where the photos have been taken. We meet next December 8th, 2020. It's a virtual meeting, and you can find it on the actually on our town website here. there is a combined effort. It's really the Historical Society, but a lot of the members there sit on the Heritage Commission, so I'll bring this up. The old ferry site that's across from the old town hall where the new sign went in, the New Hampshire archaeologists are going to be visiting the site shortly and will walk to the Thornton's Ferry site. And they're probably going to request the town, if they find artifacts or think there's something valuable there, to allow the town to do an architectural survey to be done. But we won't know that till we get the feedback from the archaeologists. And there is the old ferry, the muster grounds, is the old town site is there. Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Kevin, anything from the Board of Selectmen?
Nope, we're having a good year. Everything's going fine.
Okay.
Budget committee's doing well.
Okay.
New rule, any subdivisions, don't plant trees within the right of way. It affects the mailboxes, and when you drive down the road, the limbs,
Snowdrop.
snowdrop.
Okay.
We had a
Interesting.
complaint on that.
Yeah.
And it also got the same one on, I'm gonna say, across the street from going down to Jack's house, that all those pine trees, we gotta cut them back too. Because the
Gonna cut
school
them back?
buses have a hard time getting underneath them.
Yeah, it's like a tunnel.
Okay. Very good. Conservation Commission met at the beginning of the month. I was not at that meeting. I was actually on vacation, so.
Wow.
So the Lower Merrimack Local River Advisory Committee next meeting is December 10th, I believe. They will be meeting, but virtually. I will probably be on that call for that. And I think that's it for committee reports. Approval of the minutes of October 6, 2020. Has everybody had an opportunity to look at those? Have any questions, comments? And if they look okay, I guess we can get a motion to approve them.
I'm trying to remember if I was there.
Well, we can find out. Well, you're not in members absent, so.
There.
'Cause he was trying to
You're
get
in
me out.
members present, so you must have been there.
I just said that just,
Okay.
we live in such a rough time now. Oh, I'm just humor me.
I think they look pretty good to me.
I read them. I had no problem with them.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minute meetings
Okay.
of October 6th, 2020.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay,
She wins.
yeah.
Yeah.
A second, do I have discussion? All right, all those in favor of approval, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, abstained, motion passes 600. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Get back to my agenda. All right, any other business? Joan, you have a
Yes.
couple things, I see.
I'd like to return escrow to Denise Jean on Lilac Court. That was a one-lot subdivision. She has a little bit of money left in escrow. I'd like to release that. And Continental Paving on their 517 Charles Bancroft, where they subdivided the house off and then did all the landscaping at the warehouse type building. That's done. So I would like to return that as well.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Okay,
Grass is growing, everything's there, it's good.
okay.
I'll make a motion to release both of them. The Gene one is an old one.
Yeah, it is.
I remember the house being built.
Do you know how much is in that left in the escrow?
Jean,
Yeah,
$153.
and what about Continental Paving?
$1596, $1,500.
Christmas.
Okay, All right, I have a motion to, for the return of the DG escrow funds for Lilac Court subdivision and return of Continental Paving escrow for 517 Charles Bancroft Highway subdivision site. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have discussion? All those in favor of the return of both escrow funds, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, abstained, motion passes 600.
Thank you.
Correspondence, Hudson Logistics Center. So I think most of you saw the letter that I sent out to the Hudson Planning Board regarding this project. We did have the folks from Save Hudson come in, and the applicant attorney was present at that meeting. So I went to the meeting of the planning board, the last meeting of the planning board for Hudson. It was a very short meeting for obvious reasons. Apparently, there's an issue. There was an issue with one of the alternate members of the planning board. He refused to recuse himself. The planning board received a letter or something from the applicant. One of the applicant's attorneys claiming that there was a conflict of interest because he was represented by by the attorney that was representing some of the abutters. And that attorney did admit that he was one of her clients. And so the planning board asked that he step down or recuse himself, and he refused to do so. And so they had to bring that before the Board of Selectmen, and that pretty much stopped the meeting. So, and I understand that the Board of Selectmen for the town of Hudson, I guess, voted to have that person removed from the planning board. So with that said, it looks like there'll probably be another meeting in the future at some point. I don't know when, but that's all I have on that. So, but
Jay, if I could interject.
Yeah, Jay.
The meeting on traffic is scheduled for tomorrow evening.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be tomorrow at 7. So if anybody's interested in participating in that meeting, you can participate remotely. I can send everybody the link, but I can also tell you now that if you go to the Hudson town website and you click on planning department or planning board, you're going to come to a button that says logistics center. All the information on the project is there, and you can figure out how to get on remotely. But I can also just follow up tomorrow and send everybody a link.
Okay, that would be great.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. Okay. And that's it. I don't have anything else on the agenda. Joan, do you have anything else?
Just one small thing that Lou sent a report on October 21st. Continental Paving placed 2 inches of hot bituminous pavement on Firefly Way, and 4 inches of hot bituminous pavement on Hillcrest Road. Approximately 651.8 tons was placed on Firefly Way, yielding an average compacted thickness of 2.24, where 2 inches is required, and approximately 376.1 tons on Hillcrest Road, yielding an average compacted thickness of 4.18 inches, where 4 inches is required. And he attached the paving summary sheet. So I just want to let you know that
So
base course is
technical.
paved.
So technical.
Okay.
Technical, Lou.
Well, you've got the report that it's been done and it's to the standard.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. Jay, do you have anything else that you wanted to add? I know.
I do not.
I know in talking with you today, I know we're trying to see if we can try and get back on track with the master plan, and any updates on that at all? Or
Yeah, I think my goal will be to get something in front of everyone for the next meeting, and then I think there are some things that I think are really worth discussing, and some of them are come out of the CIP, some don't. So I think it'd be great to have a little bit of a conversation And one of the things that's, been on my mind is kind of what is our current vision for the town hall complex? We had had some conversation during the CIP about, does it make sense to put a new library here? Can we put a new library here? There was, of course, conversation around the police station. And so having some thought of maybe revisiting and, either reaffirming or changing kind of what the vision is for that area. So that's one of the things I think that was on my mind. So I'd like to, bring some things before everybody and then also have a conversation on just a few of the issues around community facilities. Because of course we are, I should, I guess, throw that out as a reminder. The chapter we're working on right now is the community facilities chapter. So if there's room on the agenda, Joan, I think it'd be great to be able to agenda that for the next meeting.
While you're talking about next meetings, so we would be going December 1st and 15th, is that correct? That's the first and third Tuesdays?
Yes.
I do have one subdivision, small subdivision for December 1st.
Okay.
And
Cool.
I'll put the community facilities on.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Okay, great. Does anybody have anything else? If not,
Well, I had a question for Jay real quick.
go ahead.
A couple meetings ago, we had talked a little bit about updating ordinances to maybe make them a little more open to accessory dwelling units or auxiliary dwelling units. And I think you had mentioned that Amherst had done some like positive things that didn't seem to impact the character and things that most people are concerned about when trying to promote more affordable housing. Do you know those offhand, or like, could you email us with some of those ideas?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. And we have some nice imagery that goes along with that. So I can send that to everybody and we could certainly, put that on an agenda to talk about as well.
Thanks. I think we should talk about that, especially with everything else being built up, around us. We know, I mean, with that commission that came to us, I think that was last year, trying to promote more affordable housing. And we know that that's an issue in town already. So I think we need to look at that with our ordinances.
Great. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank
The
you.
word affordable is not the word today in homes, period.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. Then that if there's anything else, if there's not anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. So I have a motion. I have a second. Do I have discussion? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Bye.
Those opposed, abstained, motion passes 6-0-0. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening, and we'll see you all soon. Be safe, be
Have a
well.
good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, you guys enjoy. Nice seeing you.
Nice.
I know.